Hey, it's me, Bobby83, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Sakura Along My Life. Before I begin this video, I just want to personally thank the cartoon hero, aka Eli Stone, for doing my request review on this game. I think he did a very good job, and I'm sorry that he didn't find much enjoyment for the game that I did, but I think he gave it a very fair review. I recommend go checking him out and subscribing to his channel. But anyways, I'm sorry for the long delay about this game. Pretty much I had my old computer had a problem, and it has some of my files where I did a recording but not the voiceover, but I lost that, so I pretty much got get a new computer, redo the game, even get a new capture card because I lost the CD to the old one. And by the looks of this, it looks like it's not doing pretty good, but hopefully by the next recording, my new capture device, well, it's not a capture device, it's a AV to HDMI converter, but it would look a lot better. But anyways, we're out getting evidence to the court case, and I really recommend going to this place first. You can get a really useful item. Pretty much just talk to Kalama, and well, it's been a while since I played this game, but pretty much to catch you all up, Karen Archer is pretty much representing this company called Steam Frontier, and pretty much they want to destroy, well, not destroy, but redevelop the city of Harlem by pretty much getting all the citizens out of there by giving them money and jobs. But the citizens don't want to do that, so they chose Shinjiro to help defend their city. And right now we're looking for evidence against Steam Frontier and also some info on Karen Archer and the city of Harlem itself. This one we're getting some good info on Steam Frontier, but we'll come back to that place later. And now we're at the park. Sometimes scenes like this will stop you even if you didn't select the area. Don't worry, they don't count that as a turn. Like, each place you go, it takes 5 minutes off the time, and I think the end is at 11 o'clock if I remember right. And later on you can extend that time. But anyways, we're gonna meet a person named Mother Karen, and pretty much she knows Karen Archer, and we gotta go back to the church to get some more information on her. But that's pretty much it right there. I also did want to get a new capture device, so I could be able to record the footage and my commentary at the same time, because I think it's a lot easier to do that, especially with a game like this. Yeah, keep on forgetting to bring that water. Right now I'm not looking at the footage that's displaying on the screen right now. It looks like there's like black lines across it, and I'm not really liking that. There's some static. Maybe it will look better once I upload it. Probably not, so I apologize for the poor quality. And this part, the last part, I chose Germany's Sunrise, to pretty much escort me to the city of Harlem. You can pick 3 people, Germany, Subaru, or Ratchet Arter, and it's just another person that I'm not thinking of. But anyways, you need to find that person that escort you to Harlem, and they can help you in the court case later on. And of course, you go find some good info on the library, because of course, it's always good to go to the library. Pretty much this is one of those point and click things. Like, if you're playing the Wii version, pretty much, even if you're using the classic controller, you gotta still use the pointer on the remote to look for stuff, which is quite a bit annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. Now, one of the things that the Cartoon Hero didn't like about this game is that the gauge, well maybe not this gauge specifically, but when you make choices, well, he didn't talk about the speed, but this is one of those parts where the gauge can go really fast. Sometimes the game kind of hits you to it if you know the situation pretty well, but in this part, it goes really fast. Luckily, there's only one choice there, and usually it limits to 1 or 2 choices when the gauge goes that fast, so that's really not a problem for me. Honestly, I never mind the gauge, especially one of the options is not picking an answer by letting the gauge become full. And the other problem that he states that you can't really redo the choice, you know, well, unless you want to restart to the next checkpoint, that you can do that, but I guess in Phoenix Wright does that. I never played any of the Phoenix Wright game, even though I should, and you know, I don't blame him for that, for not liking the way they set up the choices, but I never really minded pretty much. I thought it adds a bit of challenge, even though it probably seems unnecessary by comparison. And now we get into the info on Harlem part. Now you don't need to get every single information. You just need enough to get for your court case. Those things are pretty annoying. Pretty much gotta, you know, copy the arrows on the control sticks. It's excuse me. It's well, not the worst thing ever, but I just didn't really care much about it. And we caught Jiminy Sunrise singing gospel music. Of course, this is also a good place to level up your characters that you meet, even though Jiminy Sunrise is currently not a character available for battle yet. But still, it's good to level her up. I'm not sure if I said this in the last part because it's been a while since I did another one of these, but I think I'm choosing Jiminy Sunrise as the ending for this one. There's 6 different endings, and I was debating between Jiminy Sunrise or Subaru. Maybe Ratchet or Tail, since she's the hardest to get, but I think I'm choosing Gemini. It may change throughout this playthrough, but Jiminy Sunrise is gonna be my pick. I also sometimes like to make the wrong choices on purpose, mainly because to keep things more interesting, but in this video I don't really make that many mistakes because this part is kind of important. Sorry if I missed that part, but pretty much that last gauge things, since there's playing a slow gospel music part, you need to move pretty slow. Well, not very slow, but slow enough to, you know, keep a rhythm. If you move too fast, you obviously fail, even though most of the time you pretty much got to get that gauge in the middle pretty full to win. But in this case, it's pretty much keeping the gauge in the middle, keeping it blue pretty much. Oh wow, I'm moving pretty fast. Oh, I think something wrong with my recording. That's another reason why I want to redo this. I mean, not redo, get a different recording device. I really like my Ava Media. It's pretty much recording in an HD console, but you know, I'm playing off the Wii, which isn't an HD console. It uses AV cables, but I'm gonna show off the converter in the next part, and it's, from what I see, it's a big improvement. This one keeps on dropping frames, which, well, looking in this part, there's not a lot of movement going around. It's just pretty much you know, a picture of a person talking and seeing the backgrounds, with the small exception of going from place to place and town to town. But in this part, we get to learn about Karen Archer's backstory, since this chapter is focused more on her. And we find out why she became a lawyer. Nice censorship right there, I suppose. Sorry guys. But pretty much Karen Archer was a biker and part of a gang called the Centaurs. Pretty much one of her friends got arrested for something that he didn't do anything for. Well, he was accused of something that didn't really specify. But this pretty much made Karen become a lawyer and wants to protect the citizen of Harlem. She succeeded, but I think one time she lost the case, and it pretty much made her so obsessive about, you know, reading court cases that she forgot her friends, and pretty much is pretty much obsessive over the law, like you saw earlier in the part, or you know, you would have if, you know, I was recording at a decent schedule. I shouldn't juggle 3 games at once. I'll probably put Shantae and the Pirate's Curse on hold for a bit, you know, just for, you know, to keep things balanced, like my reviews, retrospectives, whatever. And, you know, for Let's Plays to be this game and Sonic Boom. But I try to keep a decent schedule, fingers crossed. And pretty much the big text is that that's the information you got, and that you'll be able, well, maybe in this case you won't be able to use it in the actual court case, but it becomes useful later on. Not hearing the audio for this video, but hopefully it's not out of sync. Pretty much, I don't know, I don't like this capture device. It's Dazzle HD, which somehow is worse than the old Dazzle, which wasn't in HD. Like, maybe because I'm not using an HD game, but I don't know, it's like, I never really liked that thing, and it's pretty much a waste of money. Need to find a way to get rid of that. I was so tempted to pick the middle choice, but you know, well, I did went back and later on tried just out of curiosity, but it's nothing too hysterical, so you didn't miss much. But during that time, I was actually considering picking that middle option. But pretty much we get more exposition over here. And, well, it's not much to talk about, admittedly. I'm really glad this part is not too action-packed, or this game in general, because I'm noticing some rather dropped frame rates, and the game looks much better than what you're seeing right now. In fact, I think watching the old parts of this game, you can actually see that the color's not too washed out. It's actually more detailed. There's actually a box in a box. This is something I'm trying to avoid, but I think that's gonna be like that with even my new setup. But at least the quality looks a lot better. But anyways, we get some much decent info on Steam Frontier by going to this place. Again, you don't have to do every single place in every single order, but I think almost any place you go to, you find some decent information. And in this part, we find out that Steam Frontier is meeting up with the mayor and a mafia kingpin. Strange meaning, I know, but we gotta pretty much follow them. And this kind of leads up to one of the racist part of the game. Not in this part, but like a little bit later on. Sometimes I forget this is a rated T game. I think that if you tone down the violence a bit and the language, this could probably be like an E10 at best. Maybe, I'm not sure how the ESRB, you know, actually works. It'll probably still be rated T. But I don't know if they did that, maybe it'd be E10. But now here's kind of the racist part. I was also tempted to do the wrong answer on this one, but no, I really need this information. Pretty much the more information you get, the better. I never really failed this part. Not that I was actually trying, but pretty much we're gonna act like tourists and, well, Japanese tourists. And pretty much the first time I saw this, I was laughing my butt off. Like, I'm glad that I decided not to do, you know, try to do the voice acting on this one, because, well, A, I stink at voice acting. I stink with my voice in general, and B, I would feel entirely guilty trying to do a racist Japanese impersonation. Pretty much debating on two titles of this game, like accidental Japanese racist, or, well, the other one you'll see probably near the end of this video. I won't give out any spoilers just yet, but pretty much we just find out that Steam Frontier is bribing the mayor. And I'm not sure why the Mafia Kingpin is in on this, but anyways, we got some more dirty info on him. Well, you gotta sneak in closer. This one you do need to fill the gauge up quite a bit. I don't know, back when I played this earlier, I used to get that filled up with no problem. Now I'm kind of struggling a bit there. Maybe it's been like maybe a year since I played this game, so I'm probably a bit rusty. And on top of that, I don't really like to control the classic Pro controller. It's I guess I'm so used to the Xbox 360 controller that pretty much any other controller feels kind of weird. Even the PlayStation 3 controller feels kind of weird, but not as weird as the Wii controller, but not the Wii U controller, as strange as that be. I don't know, maybe because the NL stick is closer to the edge. But anyways, well, if you pick Subaru, you there's pretty much an extra part where Shinjiro asks Subaru to be a witness at the court case. Let's see, oh, you know it. Let's stop at 5th Avenue. Meet Ratchet Artier. She can be pretty hard to find. I mean, not impossible hard, but sometimes you just need to be at the right place at the right time sometimes. And I do really need the right time, you know, indicator on the top left timer, where you're not seeing that right now, but when we get back to the hub world, you will. And Ratchet Artier is pretty much giving Shinjiro a little gift for doing a good job. I forget what happens in this part, well, besides getting a necktie. Let's see. Okay, yeah, she has to go here, right? And Jimmy Sunrise also get like a little story arc in this place. kind of wish all the minor characters have voice actors just to know, you know, what kind of voice they would give them. Like with this one, I picture a Rarity voice, you know, from MLP, but you know, more stuck up. Like, I don't know, it's like ladies back me up. Does buying a guy a necktie is an indirect confession of love? I mean, of course it's not always the case, but it seems like a weird thing to speculate. I mean, I know it's not the actual product, it's you know, the dot behind it, but still, just from a necktie, I don't know. I'm not really a guy who wears, you know, a suit or tie. Well, maybe on, you know, special occasions. But pretty much, it's like, now we're going back to the theater. I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, get some more info on Harlem. Like, pretty much info on Harlem is mean, you know, why that city pretty unique compared to the other cities of New York. There we go. Just adjusting my seat here, and pretty much Cherry is giving us some soul food, which is famous for Harlem. And I don't know, I thought I'd try to spice things up a bit by picking the unusual issue, but I don't know, I thought the reaction would be a lot funnier, but you know, Cherry's not really important to level up with. The best you can get with Cherry is like a side ending, which isn't really that good anyways, especially compared to Audrey's. But like there's like 6 main endings and 2 side endings. Well, I guess technically they're not endings, but pretty much they're extra scenes that you don't usually get if you don't level them up properly. It's like, dang, I really not liking this capture card. It's like, I'm glad I'm getting rid of it. And yeah, pretty much Ratchet Altair likes to hang out like on top of the building, at least from my playthrough. That's not always the case, but if you try to get the Ratchet Altair ending, up in the building is usually a good choice. Well, in story-wise, I'm pretty sure Shinjo is not having that good of a time, but you know, to get those experience points, you know, just say yes. I don't know, like, well, then unfortunately in the next part, I probably won't pick that many bad endings because it's going to be the court case, but they're all going to be some funny answers. It's getting near the 11 o'clock mark, and pretty much Mr. Sunnyside is not that very useful, but we do probably get a sneak peek of the ending somewhat. Playing this game for the first time and not getting this scene, you think that scene would come out of nowhere, but this kind of explains, you know, a little bit of what goes on. Try to remember this part. Pretty much Mr. Sunnyside is making phone calls, something about Harlem and possibly Steam Frontier, so not gonna give too much away, but just try to keep that in mind. Now in this part you can either, you know, head to the trial and, you know, get to the next checkpoint, or pretty much take it like an extra 15 or 20 minutes, or maybe even 30 minutes we'll find out later on. But from the 2 times I've done this, once was at the beginning. Well, you won't see that in the playthrough because I was going back to it, try to get back to where I left off. But pretty much the 2 times I did this, I suffered no consequences. But after you extend the time a bit, you go back to the place and pretty much you get the blueprints back in perfect order. You gotta wait a long time for it. Like if you come back even like 15-20 minutes later, it'd probably be half finished at best. But this is a useful item. Yeah. Too bad we're not going to see that awesome Kayama for probably a long time. Admittedly, you do get some funny scenes with him, but for the most part, I don't really go to him that much. And this should be getting near the end of the... No, actually, still got a bit more to go. I'm thinking about where do I go to next. Oh, I think this is the part where, is it... Oh no, not this part, but the next time we go back here, which is probably a couple of minutes. But in this part, we get to meet one of the biker gang that Karen used to associate with, Barbie. Like in the last part, her friend Jig is J-I-N-G. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce that, but pretty much her leg got injured during the deconstruction of a building that Steam Frontier and Karen Archer happened to be at. Pretty much that's going to help us in that case too. But Bobby's buying some medicines for her. Not that much useful information right there. But we'll be going back to that grocery place for a bit because there is a very funny moment and a sneak peek of a new playable character that we get in the next chapter. But pretty much this part, well, one of the things we're going to take a picture of is something that we're going to get, even after we end looking for information on the Steam Frontier that I'll talk about that one once you take a picture of that. But the other thing that you need to take a picture of, well, not need to, but pretty much useful information, maybe not for the court case, but for later on. It's pretty much more backstory on Karen Archer. Pretty much to say this is her old motorcycle and they've been taking care of it for all this time. Which, if you didn't get this part, you probably, some people actually question, how is that motorcycle still good if she hasn't used it for a while? And well, there's the answer. But by the way, Karen also does look better with the hair down. Not too big on the librarian look, to be honest. But that's one of 2 information we can get from that, unless there's another one that I'm not thinking of. That picture, I'm not sure if it's the camera card I took or the capture card itself. But let's go back there. Pretty much take a picture of that symbol on the left. There's not many photograph missions. There's some optional ones. You probably saw it when I was talking to Cherry about the photo album. where you just take a picture of place and you get like a special photo of the teammates. I don't really care about getting all the photos. It's just for collection purposes. Maybe you do get something special, but there's also cheat codes to, you know, unlock the soundtrack and stuff. Something I may show off like near the end of the playthrough. But pretty much this picture you're gonna get no matter what, if you actually take a picture of it or not. Pretty much when you're in the info gathering part, Carlos will talk to you and show you that photo of the centaur emblem. And there's that photo that we saw earlier ago. And they pretty much take that motto to heart. But still getting near that end. Like, I'm pretty sure in this part I go back to the village, to the grocery, Maggie's groceries. Let's see. Yep. And this is the funny part I was talking about. Pretty much the second title I'm thinking about is Making Kids Cry Brawl. That's a quote from Forest Theory Review. You always see later on. Yeah, by that time you hear a kicking sound effect. Well, it's not the kicking kick is funny. I don't want to confuse you guys. It's this next part right here. Yep. Rosita Aries. Next playable character in the next chapter. Well, a bit of a spoiler, but you know, I don't think anybody would be, well, maybe anybody who doesn't know anything about this game would be surprised, but for those who bought the game, we'll pretty much know that she's a playable character. It's like, I was thinking about the last place to go to make it count. Let's go back to the library, see if we get more information. And nope, I pretty much wasted the whole extra 5 minutes right there. Didn't end this video with a bang. Oh well. Oh, this is the last video using the old capture card, so it doesn't deserve to go out with a bang. But anyways, that's the end of this part. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry this took so long, and I catch you guys there.